It's almost 3 years of living in the UK, and there are certain things I wish I had done earlier within the first few months of moving to the UK, and this is what I'll be sharing with you in this video. So if you're just coming to the UK or you're planning to relocate to the UK, then do well to watch this video to the very end so that you can learn from my mistake and not have to make those same mistakes again. Let's dive in. The very first one is not getting my UK driver's license the moment I step foot in the UK, like within the very first year of moving to the UK. So within the first year of moving to the UK, you're able to use the driver's license you have from your home country to drive in the UK. Okay, so a lot of people tend to come to the UK, get a car, and then start driving, practice with that, and then get their full driver's license before even that first year runs out. All right, why a whole lot of people do not even realize that they need to do anything about getting their license, and they're just comfortable and they're like doing every other thing, looking for a job, looking for house, focusing on their studies until they are done, say 1 year, 2 years down the line, and then they start looking for a job, and then they start seeing an applicant with a full driver's license required, a driver is preferred, and all of that, and they're like, oh my god, where do I start? And then they're under pressure. Don't be like that. Within the first year of moving to the UK, once you just get to the UK and you get an accommodation, like you get a place where you can use the address as where you live, apply for your provisional license. Once you get that, apply for your theory test. Once you pass that, it is valid for 2 years. As soon as you get that, apply for your practical driving test. Look for someone to teach you. There are instructors everywhere in every city in the UK. Take those driving lessons. So even if you think you know how to drive from your home country and you've been driving for years, apply with an instructor. Take some hours of trainings and learning so that you can learn the rules and regulations in the UK, so that you can learn the route, so that you can just have an insight into what like the real driving test exam will look like. Pay for those hours. I know it's expensive. Yeah, it is expensive, but just pay for it and drive, like learn and actually get the license, and you'll be thankful you did, because it's going to open doors to a whole lot of opportunities for you, and you realize that it's almost like another visa, because you could get more professional jobs that you're not able to get before without the license, and it could even open more doors of several other job opportunities, side hustle. You could go into driving, for example. You could go into delivery business. It could make your life a whole lot more easier just by having a UK driver's license. So this is something I wish I knew the very first year of moving to the UK. Please don't be like me. Go get your license. The very next thing I wish I did the first few months of coming to the UK is working in an organization that I really want to work in and that could sponsor me at the end of the day. This is something I wish I did. I know you just came to the UK and you have to take on those menial jobs, work in a factory, work in that warehouse because you're looking for the money, because bills have to be paid, you're trying to make ends meet. Yes, I did that as well. The first year of living in the UK, I worked in a factory, worked in a warehouse, did support, and worked as a customer service advisor. All right, why all of this is good, the downside to it is at the end of the day, when you're trying to look for that job that you really want to do or could sponsor you, you might not be able to use the experiences you've had from all of these menial jobs to get that job you're trying to get. You might not be so proud to put that on your CV to say, I worked in a warehouse, I worked in a factory, because the experiences are not kind of related. So looking back now, what would I have done differently? I would have looked or gotten the list of the companies that could sponsor me, and then picked them out and start applying to them, looking for how to get into them. For example, the NHS where I'm currently working, I would have started volunteering to work with the NHS, or even getting through like an entry-level role, a Bantu role, even though they're not able to sponsor me on that. I will know, but I have ample time to plan and get prepared. So I would get into the NHS, and because the NHS have a clear pathway for career progression, by now I would not have been on the level I currently am, starting like as a very beginner. No, So if you do that before you even get to the end of the first year, you would have had 1 year experience in the NHS or whatever organization you choose. And then at that point, they'll be more than willing to sponsor you. And even if they are not able to sponsor you, you would be able to use that experience you got from there to apply to work in another organization in that same sector that would be more than willing to sponsor you. So this is something I wish I did earlier, but at the end of the day, thank God, mercy spoke for me. But in order not to put yourself under undue pressure, please work in an organization that can sponsor you, or you really want to work the moment you step into the UK. Do well to look for how to get into that organization. The next thing I wish I did upon arrival in the UK within the first few months is getting a credit card. All right, so a credit card is a card that you can get from organizations or banks, and they fund it with certain amounts, say 500, 1,000, 1,200, depending on the limit that they are willing to give you. And then you can spend the money of the card even though you don't have cash, even though you don't have money, and then pay back within a stipulated time. And if not, you are charged some interest on that amount. Okay, this is so helpful because it helps people pay their bills, it helps people pay for grocery, it helps people to be able to survive. And one catch about this is that it helps build your credit score. Okay, so the higher the credit score you have, the higher companies are willing to give things, products and services to you on credit, and they are willing to spread out your payments across maybe 2 years, 3 years, and the easier it is for you to pay your bills. So for example, if I have a high credit score and they are willing to give me, say, a phone on credit, I could be given a phone of £1,500 within a 3-year, 2 years contract, and every month I'll be paying, say, £30-something or £40-something for a phone instead of paying the £1,500 outrightly. And because the UK runs on a credit kind of economy, it is so helpful in the UK. Yeah. But one disadvantage of this is a lot of people tend to run into more debts by buying goods and products they cannot pay for, or they know they will not have the means to pay for, and they end up running into more debts. So try to stick to the very essence of getting the card, which is building your credit score instead of using it to run into more debts. The next thing I wish I had done, which I did not do at all, is saving in an ISA account. So recently I've started hearing about this ISA account where you tend to save money and then the government gives you some money back just because you're saving. And a lot of people are able to buy lots of goods and services. Some people are able to buy their houses through this scheme. So a lot of people are able to start saving in this account the moment they step foot in the UK. So it's something I didn't know about, which I'm currently researching on. If you know about it, it's a very good initiative. You would want to start doing that if you plan to, say, buy a house in the UK or buy a home within the first few years of coming to the UK, or is something you would want to start doing. The very next thing I wish I did the moment I step into the UK is getting a side hustle. All right, so I understand that a lot of people have like this wonderful skill from their home country before coming to the UK, and then they come to the UK and just ditch everything and sweep it under the carpet and start looking for that professional job that can make them thousands of pounds. Okay, but if you're in the UK, you know that just being an employee will not give you that kind of money you're looking for. Some people's jobs are not even able to pay their bills, and some people live paycheck to paycheck. There are people that have like built profitable businesses in the UK which started from a side hustle, from the comfort of their home, just with that skill that they had. Say, for example, braiding, say, for example, photography. So it is something that you should not sleep on. And one important thing about a side hustle is it's very flexible compared to your professional 9-to-5 job. You're able to choose the number of clients you want to work with. You're able to choose the time you want to work. You're able to like do things at your own pace, if you know what I mean. Do not abandon your side hustle. And if you're saying, I don't know what side hustle to go into, I'm going to link a video up here about 10 high in demand skills in the UK that you can actually go into and earn money even more than most professional jobs in the UK, do well to watch that video. If you've watched this video to this point, do well to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend it to other viewers. And do you have any other thing you wish you had done the moment you came to the UK, or you are currently doing and you think is really good? Do well to drop them in the comment section so that others can learn from it. So thank you for watching. Until I come your way again, I remain Comfort Gideon. See you in my next video. Bye bye.